You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello, welcome to another insightful and in-depth episode of the Unstoppable Actors podcast. I am so glad to have you here. Whether you're returning, whether you've just stumbled across us and found us on Spotify or on our website, I'm really excited that you're here because obviously, as you know from the intro, our aim with this is to help you go from being an unknown, aspiring actor to an unstoppable actor. So are you ready to do that? Are you ready to become an unstoppable actor? I want to let you know who I am. Firstly, I'm an acting coach who specialises in method acting. So on the podcast, over the many episodes that have been recorded, which I think this is the 133rd. Wow, always blows my mind away that there's 133 episodes out there. But as well as talking about method acting, I also truly believe that all actors should be learning about the business of acting too. So I've spent literally tens of thousands of pounds learning about both method acting and the business of acting, so you don't have to. And all that knowledge has been combined and popped into the episodes. So you will find that some episodes do dive into the craft of acting and method acting exercises, and you'll find that some dive into the business of acting. And like today's, some will dive into mindset. Because to be a successful actor, you have got to follow the triangle for success. And like a triangle has 3 points, there are 3 parts to success. The first is mindset, the second is skill set, and the third is action set. So mindset is the thought process and beliefs that you approach an acting career with. Skill set is having the skills to transform into every character and turn auditions into jobs. And then action set is consistently showing up for your career, even with a day job, even with kids, even with the challenges that life will always present to us. So in today's episode, you are going to learn the one question you have to ask yourself every single day as soon as your feet hit the ground after getting out of bed. And it is non-negotiable to ask yourself this question, because this question will help you get towards success if you answer yes. The Method Actor Circle is currently open for enrolment. How exciting! With 2 juicy limited time acting bonuses. And it is the membership that all serious, unknown and aspiring actors must join, because it helps them with their upcoming auditions. It helps them end hammy and stifled performances and start feeling raw emotion and deeper character connections. And I want to very quickly read to you a piece of feedback that I got from the Audition Zone class, which happened last night inside of the Method Actor Circle. So Melissa joined the Audition Zone class last night, which is a class where we help you prep up and coming auditions and self-tapes. And we also go through past auditions that you didn't get, so you can see why you didn't get it, because obviously we're never offered feedback when we don't get a role. So she attended that class last night, Melissa, and she said, "What an amazing lesson I've just had. I always feel so much better being coached by Louise. You really do make a difference in people's acting and performances. Honestly, I've never felt something so real. I would definitely recommend." Thank you so much, Melissa, for that lovely feedback. So before I dive into the episode, I'm just going to let you know about the 2 limited time bonuses that you get on top of your Audition Zone classes and your character development training classes. So the first one is pre-written cover letters for agents, casting directors, and obviously when applying for roles. So you get them, so you never have to worry again about what to write in a cover letter, because I've already written them for you. I've already tested them out. And I know that they work and I know that they get responses because I use them myself. And then the second limited time bonus is a 10-minute guided complete character transformation audio that Wen Bin used. And after he used it, he had this to say. So he said, the guided character transformation audio is a godsend. Before using it, I struggled with immersing myself in my roles and gave hammy forced performances as a result. Afterwards, I was able to connect with my characters in a way I didn't think possible, and this was greatly aided by this audio. Would 100% use it again. So those are the 2 limited time bonuses you get on top of the audition training and the character development training. So if you're a serious, unknown or aspiring actor, or you're going to join the Method Actor Circle and accelerate your performances and the amount of auditions and roles you land, if you are saying yes, click the link under the episode. So what is this one question that you need to ask yourself every day then? I discovered this question because it came from an experience that I had myself, and that experience, which by the way, I don't think I've also told you if you are new to the Unstoppable Actors podcast, I'm also an actress myself as well. So everything that I share with you, I've tried and tested it out myself. I use myself as an experiment. I'm the little guinea pig. I figure out what works, what doesn't, like with the pre-written cover letter templates. And then I give you guys the stuff that does work. So this is where this came about from. I'd basically had a few days off from applying for castings and practicing my relaxation and sense memory exercises, plural. And then last night, after I'd delivered the Audition Zone class and I'd taught Melissa, whose review I just read out, and the others, I said to myself, well, I've got some spare time here. I could just go and sit in front of the telly and veg out and watch Netflix. Or I could actually apply for some castings and then I could do my sense memory exercise. Because I was like, it's been a few days. It's been a few days since I've done this. So am I actually an actor? Can I actually honestly and genuinely call myself an actor if I'm having a few days off? And if the answer is yes, and I can genuinely still call myself an actor, then why am I not acting like an actor? And how do I act like an actor? And maybe it's because I'm 38, so I'm going to be older than some of you guys, and I'm going to be younger than some of you guys who listen as well. But I had a little reality check with myself. And I basically said, right, okay, Louise, you've not applied for castings for a few days. You've not done your sense memory and your relaxation for a few days. So if I keep this up for another few days, that then becomes a week. That's a week of not applying for castings and a week of not practicing the foundational method acting exercises. And then if I keep that up, that then becomes 2 weeks of not doing any of that. And then if I continue to keep that up, that 2 weeks becomes a month, that month becomes 2 months, 2 months becomes 4 months, 4 months becomes 8 months. And then I'm in a position 8 months down the line where actually I can't call myself an actor because I'm not practicing my foundational method acting exercises and I'm not applying for castings. And yes, I've got an agent who is submitting me regularly for roles, but that doesn't mean anything because having an agent is only one cog in a huge machine. And then I said to myself, is this really what I want? Is this really what I want? Going from a few days to potentially a few months of doing nothing? And the answer was a clear as day no. So the question became, will I do one thing today towards my acting career? And the answer was yes. Yes, I will. And that's when I said to myself, well, you could just go and sit down in front of Netflix, as I've already told you, and you could veg out. But I thought, no, I'm not doing that. So will I do one thing towards my acting career today? The answer was a clear yes. So I got on the casting sites and I started applying, and I must have applied for about 5 roles. So I felt good about that. And then I got down and dirty and did my sense memory. And I felt good. And I was like, well, that didn't take much time. So this thing about us not having much time, it's a fallacy because we do have time. So the question has to be, will I do one thing towards my acting career today? And you can only answer yes or no. You're not allowed to answer with an excuse, no, because blah, blah, blah. You're not allowed to answer no with a justification, no, because da-da-da. You can't justify the yes or the no or blame or give any excuses. Either you will or you won't. It's got to be that clear cut, yes or no. But asking that every single day, as soon as your feet hit the ground, when you've come out of bed, is going to stop you getting sucked into life and either forgetting or making up reasons why you can't do anything. So the question has to be, will I do one thing today towards my acting career? Don't ask, can I do one thing today towards my acting career, or should I do one thing today towards my acting career? Because that leaves room for excuses. Asking will I, it's a direct question that requires a direct yes or no answer. And there are absolutely tons of things that you can do every day to help towards your acting career. And they don't need to take 3 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. I'm always reminded of this because to get a place on the 10-week method acting modules that I coach actors on, this is more intensive than the Method Actor Circle. And it requires you to fill out a lengthy application form because we don't want any old Tom, Dick or Harry in the 10-week method acting modules. Like, you've all got to be motivated, you've got to be passionate and an action taker. And one of the questions on the application form is, how long will you spend on your character preparation work away from the classes? And some people write things like 8 hours a day, and I think you won't. You literally will not spend 8 hours a day on your character preparation away from the classes. You're writing what you think I want to hear. You're not writing the truth, because unless you are born into wealth, you've got to do a day job, you've got to do some sort of job, and you've also got your life. There ain't no way you're going to spend 8 hours a day on your character prep. That would happen when you become a full-time actor. It's not happening right now, as you're an unknown actor. And I know that doesn't sound very positive or upbeat, but it is a little reality check. So it doesn't have to, the reason I'm telling you that story is because it doesn't have to be 8 hours. 20 minutes is suffice. 40 minutes, an hour. As long as you're doing something every single day. So what kind of things can you do? You can do your administration as an actor. Administration could be getting a list together of all the casting directors that you're going to write to, or all the agents you're going to write to. It could be getting a list together of the last time you wrote to them and what their responses were. You could do some business work, which could be figuring out your brand, figuring out your unique selling points, goal setting. You know, we are coming up to the end of 2023. You could start setting your goals for 2024. It could be something like doing a bit of marketing work. Maybe you're posting on your socials. Maybe you're sending out letters at this time of year. You know, there's a lot of business things you can be doing. And then there's also a lot of craft or acting things you can be doing. You can be practicing your methods chair relaxation exercise. You can be practicing your sense memory. That only takes 10 minutes. You can be practicing a bit of script analysis. You could read a play, read a TV script. You could also practice a monologue with a method acting exercise before you actually do the monologue, so you don't get caught up into bad acting habits. You could find some monologues. You could film yourself doing one, share it on your socials. There's so many things you can do every single day beyond just applying for castings. And you only need to do one thing. And when you start doing that, one thing every single day, when you ask yourself, will I do one thing today towards my acting career? And you say yes. And then you go, okay, what is it? And you decide what it is and you do it. You'll feel more motivated than ever. You'll feel good. You'll stop getting yourself in slumps. Because that's what stops actors or unknown and aspiring actors from actually achieving the success they're after. It's because they get in slumps and they're not consistent. And that's simply it. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do 10 hours a day. Well, it's not possible anyway, is it? We've already established that. But, you know, you can do one thing every single day. So if you want to be a professional working actor, you've got to start acting like one today, not tomorrow, not next week, not January 1st, 2024 or January 1st, 2025 or January 1st, 2026. It has to happen today. So when you ask yourself, will I do one thing towards my acting today? You'll recognise the responsibility lies with you. And that doesn't have to be a heavy weight. That can be exciting. Of course, you always have a choice. You can answer no. But you don't want too many no days, because no's lead to nothing happening and your acting career drying up. And so that's why I'm going to ask you now, will you join the Method Actor Circle for the £27 per month membership and access all of the professional method acting trainings that are going to accelerate your performances and your ability to get auditions and land roles? And you can answer either yes or no, because you have a choice. One helps you and one means time passes by. So remember, always answer yes or no. No excuses, no blaming, no justification. It's as clear cut as yes or no. As always, I hope this episode has given you some fat to chew on. If you answered yes to joining the Method Actor Circle, The link is in the description for that membership and to get the limited time bonuses. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors Handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.